Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with?
And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 1, episode number 14, and waiting in the green room is my good friend, Mr. Craig Remington. He is coming to us from Florida, and a lot of people who follow, let's see, if you got any of these videos, you probably know Mr. Craig Remington. If you have any of these books, you probably know Mr. Craig Remington. So I'm going to let him talk about that later. But before I get started with our special guest for tonight, I'm going to bring in my panel of guests. And we have a full load of people tonight. And I'm going to start with the Padre, not dressed like a woman tonight, thank God. This is Mr. Stacy Armstrong.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Sorry I missed last week, but I heard, Paul, that you might have enjoyed yesterday's show. So.
Well, you know, if you missed last night's show, you need to go back and watch the rerun. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us tonight and you missed last night's show, yes. you missed a doozy, right?
It is something to see. Probably never see that one again.
I hope we never see that again, man.
As I've been told by other people.
Somebody else that was on last night's show, Mr. Sexy himself, Rick Bradshaw.
If you do go back and watch that show, have a couple of drinks beforehand.
Oh, that helps, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely have a couple drinks. Man.
Hello, Big Sexy.
Hello, everybody.
don't even talk like that. And once again, coming from his man cave, he's got more light tonight, though. Mr. Joe Baker himself. How are you tonight, sir?
Hey, Joe.
Doing great.
Glad to have you back. I hear you know this special guest of ours.
Oh, I enjoyed talking with him at the Toy Soldier Show in Chicago a number of times. And
awesome, man.
And I'm dream of going to his store down in Florida.
And, of course, we have our Canada connection tonight. Mr. John Salatellis. How you doing, sir?
What's up, everybody?
Hey, John.
Happy Tuesday.
John, I think when you see this tour, I saw this tour earlier today.
I've seen photos, man.
You might want to get something to drool on, my friend, because you're gonna be so. yes, thanks. That you're gonna be tearing up as well.
That's what was going on last night. A lot of drooling.
Drooling. I don't know about that, man.
Well, I don't know. We won't talk about that.
So, hey, John Salatellis, why don't you say hi? Who's in the chat room tonight? I know you like doing that, man. Who's all there?
Ooh, I do. Paul is here. No, just kidding. James, that's James Viola. How's it going? Great to see you. Love your work. Love what you've done with Scavenger. What's his name? I forgot the other name.
Fox. Swamp Fox.
Swamp Fox. The
Yeah.
Germans are unbelievable. So
Yes, I got
awesome,
two of his
awesome.
painted ones actually. So,
Really? Oh.
yeah.
Okay, we gotta talk. Maybe I'll message you. Moondoggy, Barb Murray from Canada, right?
Yeah, Murray, Canada.
Right?
Yeah.
Big Boss Jack. Welcome everybody. Patrick Grain is on time today.
Yeah.
Andy Biasi, how's it going? Ernie's Attic.
Dance, yeah.
And Paul Barbacano. Am I missing anybody? I'm just scrolling, guys. Just give me a second. I think
We got 22 people here, so if you're there, chat in. If you
Mark.
haven't chatted in, just say
Mark,
hi.
welcome.
Yep, Mark's
Nice.
here. Cool. So,
Very
As
good.
always, we're going to go around the room and say what's new in your zoo. Joe Baker, we're going to start off with you tonight. What is new in your zoo since we talked to you last week?
Well, I don't really have anything new, but a few weeks ago, right when I went down to the Midwest Toy Soldier Show, I was waiting for a box of stuff I wanted at an auction online. And of course, it came the day after I left for Lafayette. But what I have are all sorts of Airfix figures.
Yep.
Like these are their German Alpine troops.
Yep.
But I have, bags like this
Wow.
of like 8 different types of World War II Airfix figures.
Nice.
Been sorting those out.
Man, dude, are you painting those or just?
I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Like I say, there were hundreds of them, so it was a sorting job.
Gosh,
You see the bags behind me a little bit, where a lot of them are hanging.
Oh man, dude,
Looks like
that
a
is
sock.
a little bit of a job ahead of you, Brian.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that all you got
That's
for
it.
us? All right.
That's it.
All right, Padre. I'm gonna let you.
Okay. So you're not going to suck me into this small soldier stuff here, but
I
I
know.
will show these. Now, I did show these on the other show.
Yep.
But so this is the standard version. I have all of them finally. I got them all now. So there's the standard.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right. So there's that one. And then
That
here's
was my first show.
Yeah. There's the same one, but with the fighter uniform.
Pilot.
And then here's the sailor.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Love the little boxes, man. That's cool.
Yeah. And then the little equipment comes with them too. So, and then
Nice.
here's the sailors. Oh, sorry. They're a sailor.
They're not bendable though, right? They're like solid.
No, they don't move at all.
Okay.
Sadly. Here's the Marine.
Nice.
Oh, those are cool.
And here's the battle uniform for Marine.
What year are those from?
These came out in what year was it? I'm trying to think. Oh, I can't remember. Sorry. I don't want to say wrong, so I'll try and give you an update. So this is the one where it stopped, and then I didn't have the battle one, and sadly it took close to 3 weeks to get this one back.
Oh, that was the soldier. Yeah.
That was the one I was supposed to get, and he sent me 2 Marines.
Yep.
So, and sadly, they charged me $25 for shipping to get it.
Ugh. That's not
Patrick
right.
Grain wants to know, where did you find those?
I got those from Syndico. It's in Japan, and these were the Japan release Takara GI Joes.
So explain Syndico to him in case he doesn't
So
know.
Syndico is like a buying agency. You can't buy anything in Japan on auction, and they put these out. What they do is you put money into an account, sort of like, and it works like eBay. But once you put money into the account, you have to put U.S. money in, and it converts to yen, and then you can bid on different stuff. You can't just go and bid on stuff and then put money and pay for it. Then you have to put money up front.
You have to prove to them you got some money in there.
Prove to them that you have the funds available. Yeah. Then once you do that, then you can buy, and they have Japanese GI Joes. They have U.S. GI Joes, like the stuff behind us. Jeeps are over there. Box figures, some rare Takara stuff. But there's also, if you're into Shogun Warriors, Ultraman. I think I spent like $600 and some over there already. So
you had to thank Jeff Shearer for that too, right?
Yeah, and Jeff Shearer, I have to thank for that one. Yeah, what a rabbit hole to go down. I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what it is. But you can find a lot of rare stuff over there, and these were sold as junk. There's nothing wrong with these at all.
Somebody just didn't want them, huh?
Yep. And see, I mean, and then every single one of them they're nice. There's nothing wrong with them, and you can just open them up. You just peel these open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you can put them
Collector
right back
friendly, huh?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So,
all right. Well,
I mean, it's a nice place to go to try and find stuff.
So that whole set, how much did that cost you? Roughly?
Well, I didn't pay if you want to count shipping now. So For everything that I have here, I only had $30 in everything here, except for
man.
this figure. Then I had to pay shipping, so it's $25.
Yeah.
But it originally would have been 30.
Yeah, if you
they
Should
got
have-
it the way it was
should have
supposed
been
to, it'd have been
original.
$30.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
but they stuck me with it because
That's
Yeah.
a bargain.
I'm
Oh
a
well,
US
even
buyer.
if even with the 25, it's still good. You're
Yeah.
not going to get that over here.
No,
Yeah.
no, because you can
Wow.
find these over here. They're just expensive here. Each one of these are like $40 or so.
Oh,
around
Yeah.
that
man. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
right.
why I paid $25 to get that one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know.
They shouldn't have done that, but still not bad.
No, and they actually wanted me to charge. They wanted to also, because every time you do a transaction over there for Syndico, they charge you a 500 yen fee. 500 yen sounds like you think it's a lot of money, but it's only like $3.50 US.
Mhm.
But they wanted to charge me, and I'm like, but that's not my fault.
Mm.
It's your guy's fault. You didn't check it,
Yeah.
And so they agreed. So they waived their fee, but they still charged me to ship it. I try to get them to waive it or split half of it with me, but no.
Oh, okay. Can't complain. You got
And
it.
I'm half theirs. I'm half Japanese. Come on, cut me a break.
Cut me a break.
No, they wouldn't. We know you.
All right, man. We gotta head north to Canada here and see what John
All right.
Salatellis got. John, what do you got new since last week?
Well, my hobby bunker order came in. I think I mentioned it last week. A few 21st century vehicles and Forces of Valor. I also got this baby, which let me just move it over because it's heavy and it's. Okay, you guys see this?
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
so this is a Thomas Gunn jungle hut. It could be used for Vietnam. Could be used for a Pacific theater, which is what I've got some TSSP infantry there that I got from Lenhart, and they're a really rare tan color. They usually don't come in this. It's usually green or it's not even khaki. But they're really. I had never seen these in this color, so they were a pretty cool find. Got them off eBay from him, and of course where are my tanks? Oh, here's my tank. Give me a second. Here we go.
Oh wow.
So
Forces of Valor?
The
21st century.
Panzer is 21st century. So is the Hellcat over here. I believe so is the Panther.
Oh, okay.
And so these are all 21st century. And I got a Willie Jeep weathered winter version, and it's stuff falling out. This is the Forces of Valor, as well as
Nice.
as this one over here. And I forget, the one with the
with the hedgers. Yeah, hedgers.
Yeah.
No, that's a Stewart. Right?
Stewart. There you
Yeah,
go.
nice.
So this was pretty cool.
Very cool.
So he's got a few more stuff that I want to get into, but it's like I gotta slow down.
And you got those on eBay, or did you get them?
No, those are from Matt from Hobby Bunker.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, Matt had a big. He sponsored that toy show this weekend,
Yeah.
and I know Mr. Craig Remington was up there, so maybe he'll tell us a little bit about the show.
Oh yeah,
But
that'd be cool.
who am I missing? Rick,
Rick.
did you get anything new this past week?
I got something old to show you. I'm going to stick with the 1/18 scale. And does everyone remember the Hasbro Indiana Jones line from 2008?
Oh yeah.
They had the nice staff car that they had.
Oh
Right.
wow.
So this is 1/18.
1/18 scale. Okay.
Unfortunately, I have never gotten any of the Germans. They had Africa Corps guys.
Right.
I do have Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do have is I have a lot of 1/18 World War II Germans. So that's why I bought these. That's why I bought this.
Oh yeah, to use for that, sure.
So
And
once
the
again,
pool-
the Tiger tank above your head there behind you.
There he goes again.
That's 1/18 scale, right? So that would.
No, it's
No.
112.
Oh, that's 112. Okay.
That's
okay.
the big monster. And so
It is
let me get my big head out of the way. So
No,
isn't
you can see it.
the Panzer 4 up there is 112.
Yeah.
112,
And
okay.
there's a Willys Jeep and a Kubelwagen that's all 112 scale.
And that's all Forces of 21st century, or is that a different company?
No, The two tanks are Max Factor, Figma, and the Willys Jeep is Rock Hobby. It's an RC, and so isn't the Cubble Wagon. The Willys and the Cubble Wagon are not cheap, but they're excellent pieces. They're really well made. So the prize of the Indiana Jones line is the German truck.
That's the truck. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody wants that for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really not that
cool.
expensive. But
That's
they
cool
came in
looking,
two
though.
versions. One had a plastic canopy, and you could get a cloth canopy,
Cloth,
which is
yeah.
this is the cloth.
Yeah. And the doors open, right?
The doors do open, yeah.
Nice.
The doors open. You've got the front.
Oh,
So the scene where he's on the truck and
Yeah,
Indiana
sure.
Jones falls, and
right.
so that, and then he's got his whip attached to
Oh,
the
yeah.
axle. So what's supposed to happen is the axle is supposed to wind that up. Unfortunately, this isn't attached anymore, so it's not working.
Ah.
And then you can drag Indy behind it. But here's what I did. So this one is basically complete. I got it really cheap on eBay. Again, this was several years ago. So what I did was I bought a junk one. All right. It's missing the grill. It's missing different stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
No top. It's got a couple Germans in there. And what I did was, let me see if I can show you this very quickly. The truck is too low. If you look at it, it's very low.
Right.
What I did was I raised the axles.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yeah.
So let me see if I can line these up.
Yeah, no, you can tell. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right? Am I right? See the difference?
Oh, yeah. Big difference. Okay. So,
And what I did was I butchered this thing. I broke the axles out and I glued them back underneath the
on top of
leaf
the springs. Yeah.
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 so they don't roll anymore. But
Right.
when you use it in pictures,
Sure.
the guys, I
It
look more.
looks
in
more
scale.
heavy duty 4-wheel drive-ish look.
Yeah, gives
Yeah.
it the look that it had in the movie too.
Right.
Sure.
But these are good. If you're in the 1/18 scale, especially the Joy Toy stuff, they're excellent. And you can get one of these with the soft top. There's one on eBay right now for $78 with like $19 shipping. And you can get a junky one. There's one up there for $50 with $14 shipping. You just need, I mean, and if you think about it, they're from 2008. And what would you pay for a truck today that's like this,
Yeah, yeah.
Probably 40,
Sure.
$50.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Paul in the chat room wants to know when Mr. Clean is going to be in 1/32 scale. You got him behind you, but
as soon as I get my shrink machine, I'm going to shrink them right there. Woo.
I'm sure somebody does a
I'll get them
3D resin print of that.
I think there's a couple guys that could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
sure
can
there
probably, I bet you he is in 1/18 scale somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I'm
man.
sure he is, yeah.
That's all I got. Nothing exciting. Pretty
Well,
late.
gentlemen, I don't know how to introduce this guy. I'll be honest with you. Last night we had a treat. Okay, Ace took us to his storage unit, his secret storage unit somewhere in Minnesota, we think. Undisclosed location. Well, let me tell you, we're going to Florida tonight, and Mr. Craig Remington has been collecting. Well, I'm going to let him tell his story, but he's got a collection tonight that you're not going to believe. I talked to him for about an hour earlier today, and he took me around the store, and you guys are going to get a treat tonight. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time and you have never seen Mr. Craig Remington, I'm going to bring him in right now. Sir, how are you tonight?
I'm doing real well. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Welcome, Craig.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
It is an honor and a privilege, sir. I feel like I know you because I've seen you in every video of the Atomic Home video from Rusty Kern. I know you're in some of the books that he wrote, too. And, man, it's an honor and a privilege, man. Let me tell you.
Well, I appreciate those kind comments. I've also been able to go to some of the Toy Soldier shows around the country and give a little lecture, little talk on different things that I've collected over the years. Actually, I first got started in this hobby if you want to say started, I was 3 years old. I can't remember what I did like a week ago, but I have a clear-cut memory of being in the bathtub and playing with an ideal pirate ship in the tub. And I also had a Mickey Mouse pirate ship. So they were the good guys and the pirates were the bad guys. And I think I have one of these just to show you. The box, let me get up for a second. This is the way this is a mint set of the ideal pirate ship. It's in this box, and opening it and taking it out, it's still in the bag that it came in.
Wow.
And it's really a nice set. This set came out in 1952, and so it was 1 year later that I had that set.
Wow.
Now, my first real Marks play set came with Roy Rogers' Western Town that came out in 1954, 55. And then, of course, I got caught up in the Davy Crockett, Walt Disney craze.
Oh, yeah.
And I got my first Walt Disney Davy Crockett at the Alamo set in 1955 when they first came out. Now, when they first came out, they came out with Indians because they didn't have time to produce the Mexicans. The Mexicans came out about 6 months later. And so they were probably the first two Marks play sets that I ever got involved with. I do have a vast collection. I think I showed Paul some pictures of my, it's not really secret, storage unit. It's 30 by 40, and it's loaded with Marks play sets, and I have a mixture of all the Conti sets and all the Barso sets.
Wow.
Probably from a Marks play set standpoint, I have about 250 sets in there. And then in my other storage unit, I have about another 120 to 125 sets that I'm selling in the store right now. So just about every play set that they came out with that wasn't a gas station and a farm. I have a couple farm sets, but not really into the farm sets. And I do have some dollhouses in the store for the young ladies that come in and look for things for their son. I also have stuff for their daughter.
Nice.
When I opened up this store, I did it right after the Chicago show this last year. So it was a very, very soft opening, the end of October and through November. And basically the reason why I did this, because this is very unique. It's probably one of the only toy soldier stores in the nation that just catered to this. I made sure that it was a mixture of half metal and half plastic. And I did that for a reason. When I went to the Chicago show 2 years ago, I don't want to use the word fight, but a disagreement occurred between some plastic guys and some metal guys. And I got in the middle of it to try to break up the squabble. And basically I lectured them on the fact that we all have to work together. We have to make this hobby stronger and keep it alive. And the only way we're going to do that is for both sides to get along and work together. And I stressed that at the last Chicago show when I opened a sealed play set. I gave a small little lecture before that. And I did have some metal people there as well as plastic, because I went around to every room in the hotel to promote my store. And I made sure that they realized that it was for everybody. So, one of the things that we have to look at ourselves about is the fact that we're not getting any old or any younger, and some of us are passing away, and we need to have a replacement. And the only way to do that is to try to bring in the younger people into the hobby. Yeah. And I hope that one way that I can do it is through this store, and try to have things for the younger generation, the play sets that don't cost an arm and a leg, so that they can get used to playing with something like that.
Sure.
Part of my speech and I lecture is the fact that we need to get the children to use their imagination, get off the cell phone for a little while, get off the computers for a little while, and sit down and play with a play set and let your imagination run and do things. And I've invariably had families come back to me after they've been in the store and they bought play sets for their kids to come back and tell me, Johnny, I got him a set Christmas. He didn't get on his phone for 4 days. That's all he did was play with the set. And I said, well, that's great. Eventually he'll go back to the phone, of course.
Yeah.
It's just to have that spare time to use his imagination.
Definitely.
I set the store up in such a way. I'm a descendant of Frederick Remington, the famous painter and sculptor. So I have some of his copies of his paintings in the store hanging for sale, along with his Custer's Last Stand painting. And I have some copies of sculptures that he did in the store for sale. One of the main things that I tried to do with this store is to influence all the people on the history of not only our country, but other European countries, and to focus on some of the wars that took place. And you can do that with the Marx play sets, the Barso sets, the Conti sets, also classic toy soldiers. And you're able to relive some of the history. Quick story. The beginning of December, I had a gentleman walk in with his son who was in 8th grade, and he was all depressed. It was about 6 o'clock at night. I actually had the store closed, but I left the door open and the lights on. And I said, what's the problem? He said, well, my son has a history project at his school in which he has to display something on Monday and Tuesday night for all the 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade families to come in and look at what the 8th graders had put up. They went into a fishbowl and they pulled out whatever their project was going to be. They couldn't pick it themselves. And he went in and picked out the Battle of Bunker Hill. So you can imagine the frustration when they went around the Michaels and Hobby Lobby and Walmart and other hobby shops and toy shops. They couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So they walked into my store and they saw that I had some Revolutionary War stuff, but I didn't have Bunker Hill. And I explained to them that I do have Bunker Hill. It's back in the storage. I just don't have room in the store to display it. But if you come back on Saturday, or Sunday, I'll go into my storage unit and pull one out and let you borrow it. Well, he said, well, I don't know. How much is it? And I said, it's $250. And it was a classic toy soldier playset, which had a booklet in it describing the Battle of Bunker Hill, which the Battle of Bunker Hill didn't really take place at Bunker Hill. It took place at Breeds Hill.
Yep.
And I told the son, if you mention that to your teacher, you might be able to get an A+. So they came in, and I displayed the set for them, showed them how to do the diorama on the set, and they displayed it. And the father said, "Well, what can we do for you?" I said, "This is what you can do for me. Next to the play set, I want you to put my business cards and my brochures so that when the people walk in on Monday and Tuesday night, and there were 500 families, they would go, 'Wow, where did you get this?' And they hand them a brochure and they hand them a business card. And that's how I was able to promote some of the business during the Christmas period. I had a lot of families come in buying things because of what they saw at that show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it was a good way of advertising.
Real quickly, you got a question from the chat room. The name of your store again and what city it's located in?
All right. The name of my store is Royal Remington. And it's hard to see on my shirt, but my insignia says Royal Remington Toy Soldiers. And then I also have the soldier on the one side, which is located on my front window. I have two soldiers guarding the store. It's located in Stuart, Florida, which is approximately 30 miles north of Palm Beach. And it's on US 1. The address is 6120 US 1. It's about 2 miles off of I-95, exit 101. Very easy to get to. Our store hours are right now Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 4, Saturdays 10 to 5, and of course it's also by appointment. I've had a lot of people come down from Mobile, Alabama, Jacksonville, Orlando, South Carolina, New York, Maine, and their families are vacationing down here, and the gentleman would give me a call and say, "Look, I'm going to be in the area, but I'm not going to be there on Tuesday. I'm going to be there on Wednesday." I said, "Give me an approximate time, and I'll be in the store to greet you and show you around."
Right.
So that's our store hours. I can also tell you that our website is thetoysoldiers.com. I'm currently working on the website, and there's some other gentlemen that are taking some of my stuff and putting it on their website, and I believe it's jnj.com. I'm going to give this out because generally we have the store phone, but unless you're calling on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, nobody's really going to answer it. The number for the store is 772-278-7295.
Great.
My cell number, if anybody's interested in talking to me directly.
I don't know if you want to give that out, man.
Yeah.
This is on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You might want to hold off on that one.
I want to talk about a couple of the sets that I have that a lot of folks have not seen. As you know, every year in Chicago, I open up a sealed set. It's sort of a surprise. And the reason why I do that, I explained this to Paul, people have come up to me and they said, this set's worth about $5,000 or $10,000 sealed. And the minute you open it, it reduces the price in half. Well, the reason why I do it is, sure, I could take a sealed set and put it under the Christmas tree and open it on Christmas Day and have the thrill of what I had when I was a young boy. However, there's not a lot of people that get a chance to see a sealed set opened. And what I do in Chicago is I make sure that I pick a nice sealed set that has everybody's interest. and I open it instead of in front of one person, me, I open it in front of maybe 200 or 300 people. And we explain the set. Rick Eber is always at the Chicago show, and I have him helping me open the set and explain some of the contents in the set so that everybody's aware.
Craig, you did the Beachhead Landing in Chicago this year. And I know I've seen you do a firehouse there. Can you say some of the other sets you've opened in Chicago?
Well, I've opened a John Wayne Alamo. I opened a regular, actually, it was a Richard Green Robin Hood.
Wow.
What I still have on my shelf that we can open is a Captain Gallant, another Richard Green Robin Hood, a wagon train 4888, the big wagon train.
Oh, wow.
A boys camp. I could go on and on. I've got about 22 sets that are sealed. So every year I try to break it toward what Rusty is putting out in the magazine, the Playset magazine, and I try to gear something toward that. Now, recently, he was doing an article on Fort Pitt, and he asked me to put in pictures of Fort Garry. And I just happened to bring that set with me to show you folks. This is the Fort Garry playset.
Looks a lot like Fort Pitt.
This is exactly like Fort Pitt, only the figures, because this is a Canadian set, came out in 1960. There's only 2 sets that we know of in existence right now that are in this kind of condition. One I have here, and the other one Rick Eber has in his collection. And Rick was able to get this set for me when he was picking up his set. So it's a real treat. The figures are different colors, and on the blockade, instead of saying Fort Pitt, it says Fort Garry.
Wow.
So
only 2 in existence, right?
As far as we know, only 2 in existence.
Wow.
Now, another thing that is the only one in existence is in 1968. Matter of fact, the date is on this.
Oh, my carry-all Alamo.
4/16/68, 8387 from Glendale. This is the prototype of the Alamo.
Oh, man.
On the
They didn't
carrier.
make that. They didn't remake that, right?
They never made this.
Wow.
And matter of fact, the way the set is, this is supposed to have a picture on it of the Alamo, and they never got around to doing that.
Wow.
Now I want to talk about a couple figures, and it amazes a lot of people when I talk about this stuff because they look at plastic as being cheaper than some of the metal soldiers that you can buy.
Yep.
However, when Marx made certain figures, I dropped one on the floor here. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but this is Custer figure.
Yeah. If you could bring it closer to the camera, I can bring you up a little bigger.
Up toward your eye. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This is a Custer figure that came out right after the Custer TV series.
Wayne Lauder.
Wayne was on for 2 years, and then they
Legend
took
of
it,
Custer.
and he played Custer. This figure right now probably goes for around $250.
It's an expensive
Then-
piece of plastic, huh?
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
the next
Just a bit.
important, expensive figure, and this amazes a lot of people because it's so little, even though it's 54 millimeter, is Johnny Ringo.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Right now, Johnny Ringo is probably retailing for about $1,000,
Oh,
especially if it's in great condition.
Right.
woo.
I've seen Johnny Ringo go for as high as $1,300.
Yep.
And that's from the TV series?
That's from the TV series 1959 and 60. Was on for one season. Came out in toward the end of 59 and played until the summer of 1960, and then it was taken off the air.
And that's the same year that figure came out?
That was the same year the figure came out. The figure came out in a Johnny Ringo playset, which, excuse my back here for a minute. This is one of the premier playsets that you can buy.
Wow.
Johnny Ringo
Look how
Western
crisp.
Frontier playset.
Wow.
And this playset, I just sold one of these for $52.50. And
Did you hear that, Rick?
I remember
Yeah, I heard.
That's
I
not
remember
$52.50. $52.50.
Don Durant, it was the Johnny Ringo, purchased a mint sealed Johnny Ringo set for $9,000
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
on eBay. Now, the most expensive plastic figure ever made.
it wasn't Johnny Ringo? You got one more better than that?
Oh,
Mark McCain with a rifle.
Johnny Ringo is like an appetizer compared to this.
An appetizer.
I'm going to give you guys a hint.
Well, I think
Here-
Joe Baker just said, I think he might be right.
No, let's see.
What do you think, Joe?
Is it Mark McCain with a rifle?
Bingo.
From the Rifleman.
Here's the Mark McCain figure without the rifle.
Oh, without the rifle.
Without the rifle. This is the figure that they made in all the play sets.
About $35, right?
Probably. This is the figure
Ah,
of Mark McCain with the rifle.
wow.
I happen to have two of these in my collection. One I have on display, and the other one's in my rifleman set. Now, the story behind this, and I researched it, they came out with a rifleman playset, 1960. Rifleman was a huge TV show.
Yeah.
Everybody was watching it. It was very popular. It was in the top 5 in the ratings. They took the playset to Sears and they displayed it on one of the display boards. George only had that display board. I don't know.
Yeah, George Kroll. Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, because he has a vast collection of those boards. However, when they took it to Sears, they had this figure in the playset on display. And they asked Sears, well, how many playsets do you want to order? And they turned around and they said, none. And they said, what do you mean, none? They said, we can't have a 10-year-old boy carrying a rifle around. So you got to lose the rifle. So that's what they did. They lost the rifle. Consequently, they only produced, I don't know, 3 or 4 of those sets with the rifle. And that's why there's only 3 or 4 of those figures floating around.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
And you have two of them.
Now, Joe, you were good enough to guess the figure.
Okay.
Can you guess the amount of what someone has offered me to buy this figure?
10 grand.
Yeah, it's got to be 10.
10, 15, I don't know. How can he?
10,000? How much?
Keep going.
Oh my God.
Really? For one figure?
I had someone offer me $18,000 for this.
Wow.
We're in a new world, everybody.
I tell you what, man.
And you said no?
I was going to say, yeah. You got two of them. You could have let one go.
I'm waiting until the price keeps going up a little bit.
Oh, boy.
All right, now a couple other things very quickly I want to show you that probably nobody has seen too much of. This is a Western Frontier set.
And that's Mark's?
This is Mark's.
Okay.
Yep.
Are they painted figures?
No.
No.
Came in a picture box.
Do you know where that was sold?
Blood red Pioneers, brown TP. I'm trying to see if we can get light on this. I don't know. Maybe if I bring it.
No,
No higher.
But this is a straight picture box window.
Yep.
You've got the Pioneers, the Indians.
54 millimeter?
You've got the brown TP over here, and you've got a gray TP right there, and the wagon and the horses are over here.
What scale are you looking at? 45 or 54?
No, it's 54.
Oh, okay.
So those are red Pioneers. I've never
Blood
seen
red Pioneers.
I've never seen one of those.
Wow.
No, and you probably won't, because as far as I know, this is the only one in existence that's in this kind of mint condition.
But I
It's
mean,
never-
even loose figures.
It's never been opened. It's still in the box. It's just pristine.
Hey, John, you still okay with this, man?
I need to drink something.
We're seeing a lot of a one-of-a-kind stuff here that people just are never going to see. You know that, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's another thing that I don't think too many people saw. This is Ben-Hur, Mexican Ben-Hur.
Oh, wow.
Mexican.
This came out the same time Ben-Hur set and the movie came out in 1960. Opening this up just to show you some of the figures. They're painted, hard plastic painted.
Oh, wow.
Hard
including the chariots.
Wow.
How many figures came in it? Just one set, or?
Oh, look at that.
You got
Wow.
you
Let
got
me bring it-
you got 32 figures in the set.
You hold that up to the camera. The chariot.
Yeah, especially the chariot. Yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute. Came with 2 chariots.
Wow, look at the detail.
That's
on it.
awesome. Yeah.
And it came with you've got the theater or the stadium in there. They came out with these yellow, which is normally what you get in some of the Ben-Hur sets. But what's different is that it's a gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow with gold standards.
Are the chariots hard plastic, or are they soft plastic? Like
Everything in this set is hard plastic except for one set of the figures, and they're in this. It's not the. It's not a. It's sort of like a cream color, but it's not. Does not match the cream color that's in the regular Ben-Hur sets.
did it come with character figures?
Yeah, Leonard wants to know: do you have Spartacus? I don't know if Spartacus was in that one.
Yes, came with the character figures were in this color.
So that's the Emperor.
The Emperor, Empress, and Ben-Hur. Then they also gave you in regular plastic. They gave you the lions.
Wow.
But even the accessories are this gold color.
Huh.
Wow.
Neat.
All the accessories.
And what would that have sold for when it was new?
When it was new, I would say it was probably about $9 or $10.
Yeah.
Don't
It was
forget,
an expensive set
don't
then.
forget it was in Mexico.
Yeah.
You got an odd question. I don't know what this is. Do you have painted gold marks World War II 6-inch figures? You know what they're talking about?
Yes, I do. No, I do not have them.
Okay.
I do not have them.
You
know,
collect
we're-
miniature
yeah.
sets too?
Now, what I'd like to show you is one more set that I made. And it's complete marks, except for the character figure and the box, because Mark's never made a set like this. I showed this in Chicago one year.
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
There we go. He
Yeah,
does
it
exist.
Right.
Is that Lizardi book? A Lizardi book box?
Yes, it is.
Can you lift it up a little higher? Can you lift it up so we can see the bottom? Yeah. Oh, it's a Boy Scout camp.
Yeah. And he actually signed this. I made this set in 06. Now, opening the set, it's a solid mint Boy Scout camp set with flat tin. And the instructions and the bags, you got the Boy Scouts. And what I added to this set to make it a little unique is I took Mark's Army vehicles, Spotlight, the flashlight, and Army men because they were searching for Bigfoot. So
everything in there is
Just-
vintage. You just added the Bigfoot and the box itself, right?
yeah, here are just an example. These are mint Boy Scout figures.
We got to see Bigfoot though.
Yeah, we got to see Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look for Bigfoot. He's
Nobody cares about
somewhere. He's hiding. Here he is. There he.
Bigfoot you had made, right? Somebody made that for you? Oh, wow.
That's that
There you
famous
go.
pose too.
Yeah, that's the pose, man. That's
That's
funny.
perfect.
Pose.
That's exactly that was the only pose back in 06.
Yeah.
That was the pose. This was before, the Bigfoot craze hit.
Yep,
And,
that's funny.
a friend of mine had a molding, did molds in his basement, and he
That's
made
the one,
Bigfoot for me.
the one and only Patty. Awesome.
So everybody enjoys looking at this set because it's got all the accessories in it. The canoe. Here's the flashlight, the spotlight. So it's a fun set. I usually sometimes I have this set up in the store for the kids
That's funny.
so they can appreciate it.
Now, is that for sale or is that just something you just show off?
No, this is something I just show off. Maybe one day I'll have it for sale.
I doubt it.
I've been asked to make. I've been asked to make more of them, but at the time that I got Ron to make that box for me, I also had to make a box of the Magnificent Seven, Combat, Paladin, Wanted Dead or Alive, some of the old TV shows.
TV shows, yeah. Paladin,
Yeah.
I actually got my friend. I didn't bring it tonight, but I actually had my friend make combat figures, character figures.
Oh, wow.
Sergeant Saunders and
Yeah.
Kirby and all of them.
Yeah.
And I have I did take them to the Chicago show probably about 10 years ago, and I had a dozen of them, and I sold them the first day that we had room trading. Everybody came in and bought them. I probably could have sold 100 of them.
Yep. Everybody
Nice.
won't like those.
And they came in a little box that Ron made for me for the character figures that said combat on it.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
maybe if you have me on your show another time, I'll bring that in. And show
we're
it.
we're definitely getting you back, man.
Really.
Everybody wants to see the this. Maybe you can come to us from the secret storage room. The storage unit.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever thought of doing Rat Patrol then? Since you did combat?
Yes, I do have a Rat Patrol too that was made, and I have the box for that too, with all the character figures.
Nice.
So, and then I supplement those figures are 54 millimeters, so I supplement the Marks GIs and the Germans in with that set.
I think we might have Rusty Kern watching us.
Do we? Mark's playsets and more?
That is Rusty.
Now, I don't know if we have time, but I can give you maybe a 3 or 5 minute tour of the store.
I'm sure people are waiting for that, and I know it's going to take more than 5 minutes. So you take as much time as you need, and
all right, I'm just trying to maneuver some of this stuff around. I've got
as long as Stacy and Rick's pills don't kick in by 9 o'clock, we should be good, man.
No, I waited. I didn't take it yet.
I do want to give a plug to Rick Eber because when I was setting the store up, he came down from Syracuse and helped me set the store up.
No, he wanted to come down and play with your toys is what he wanted.
And that's exactly right. I said, Rick, how are you going to help me? He said, you don't know anything about the metal stuff. He said, you set the metal up. I'm going to set the play sets up.
Yeah, sure.
So as part of my display, I have Jim Krause has done battle boards for me.
Yep.
And most of the Mark's play sets or even the Barso sets that I have set up in the store, or Conti, whatever, I put them on Jim's board, the battle boards.
He does
They
great.
are an excellent. I would recommend this to anybody that's doing displays to contact Jim and have him make a battle board for you. He'll make some of the battle boards you're going to see on the displays. I went over it with him when he was first starting out and said, look, I'm going to do a Robin Hood. We want to do a Robin Hood. And he and I worked on it. And it just came out beautifully. And then I told him, Alamo, I had to make a moon display so that I could display some of the Rex Mars play sets or Tom Corbett play sets. He did a Custer battle board. He'll do any battle board you need for any particular era. Zulu, Rev War, Civil War, you name it, he can do it. On top of that, I've got some dioramas in here that were made by a gentleman by the name of Pat Gallagher. He's, in my opinion, he's world famous. He's won awards for some of the dioramas that he made. I have some of my dioramas in the store as well that I made. I started making those dioramas back about 1980 to 1995. And then I just got, my eyes started to go on me a little bit so that I couldn't do the detail that I really wanted to. But I do have dioramas in this store, as well as books and magazines, videos of some of the old Western TV shows. And you'll see that displayed as we go around. I'm going to unhook.
I know we did it earlier today and we were able to do it. I hope you can do it again, man.
Well, I'll try. I unhooked the computer and we'll see what the light is like at night here.
Yeah, it was just getting close enough that you could see everything. That was the.
All right, this is a diorama that's by King and Country, Rub War.
Yep. A little bit lower. A little bit lower. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yep.
These are Austin miniatures,
Yep.
Cowboys. They have also the wire figures that are out. In front is the scene from The Patriot. Over here is another diorama
King and Country.
of,
Yeah.
yep, King and Country, the Alamo. Up here is
King and Country.
part of my German Nazi display. I can't keep these in the store. I had a whole bunch of buildings and things like that, and they
I'm just doing that. I'm doing that just in case, man.
Good.
they just disappeared. This
That's
came
awesome,
out
though.
with.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, but you understand.
Yes.
Yep. This I came out with when the Gladiator movie came out. A gladiator scene diorama with gladiators.
That is so cool.
And this is a little bit more Medusa.
The Conti rolling log. Yeah.
And some of these are Conti, and some of them are these figures over here can be painted. They came from Ukraine. The last figures that came out of the manufacturing plant before it got bombed by the Russians. So as I got these, I think about 2 weeks later, the manufacturing plant was destroyed.
Oh my gosh.
Down here, it's a little dark, but this is a scene of the Marines landing, Japanese, Iwo Jima. Napoleonic figures some of them I picked up in Paris. Some are King and Country. Some are JJ Design.
There's a gentleman by Mike Pendergrass that just joined us. I don't know if you know him.
Oh.
Warhorse Miniatures. Warhorse Miniatures is with us today.
Yes.
All right. These are just cheapo little Alamo figures that the kids can buy for like $3 a piece and have fun playing with these. These are like
CTS probably.
Yeah, put together. Down here is a Zulu.
Britons.
Storage house.
There are Britons and a few King and Country and a few JJ Design. It's a mixture.
You got to angle that a little bit down so we can see the figures. There you go. Yep. Nice.
This is a diorama that Pat Gallagher made of the Vietnam.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is a scene in Laos. He actually was in the war, and I think from his recollection of some of his war stories and escapades, he was able to come up with magnificent dioramas.
Wow.
This is one of Special Forces Long-Range Patrol Operation Prairie Fire, August of 1969 in Laos. He got an award for this and was invited to go to Washington.
Wow.
Down here we have Roman soldier diorama. I'm skipping some of this stuff, trying to go as fast as I can.
Hey, you take your time, man. I mean, we're here all night. Don't worry about it. You still got 30-some people in the chat room watching, so nobody's leaving.
Well, this is a diorama that I made of my version of the Vietnam War. And so I hope everybody can see that. And then down below there, I have
You gotta lower it.
the Japanese coming on to Singapore.
Yeah, you gotta lower it. You're still on Vietnam era.
See it now?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there
there
you
you go. Yeah.
You got that?
Yep,
Yeah.
now I see it.
Yeah.
The boat.
Okay. A little difficult when I can't see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. You're right on the house now, the bungalow.
All right.
The hut.
So this is these are diorama pieces that you can include and build your own diorama. And then over on this cabinet, I hope you're seeing this.
Yeah.
World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Battle of Stalingrad, Germans against the Russians. This is all king and country. And then I went to Egypt with my wife a few years back. So I made a partial of Egypt. And then, of course,
Nice.
for Halloween, I came up with this.
Was that another Bigfoot?
The Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot's right there.
Yeah.
That's another Bigfoot, but that's a Bigfoot that I acquired.
That's a Schleich Bigfoot. I get
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to play the Halloween house like I did earlier.
Yeah, that's fine.
I couldn't get it to shut up. Then over here, I've got a little partial display of some various individual Marx figures. Then over here, what I'm most proud of is the diorama that I did of the Vikings raiding a Saxon village. Can you see that?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
see the ship and
You
First
see
house.
the
That's
ship?
what the figures are, though.
are the figures king and country or
Figures are a mix. There's a few king and country. There's a few Marx figures. If you look real close, this figure is Marx. There's also a mixture of JJ Design and Essalon figures.
Some Conti stuff.
Can you see the tower?
if
That's
you bring
fine.
your camera up a little bit, angle up. No,
I don't know. I
We see the-
don't know what you're seeing here.
we see the drawbridge, but we
We
can't
see
see
the
the rest of the
causeway,
tower. Yeah, there you go.
All
Oh,
right.
that's from the movie.
That's
the
from the
Warlord House.
movie. I've got a Charlton Heston figure in there, and this is the Warlord. Was the
Yep.
name of the movie. This is a Conti playset, and some of the figures are Conti. And then over here, I've got a set of the Gallant Men character figures, and I've got sailors. I've got prototype Marks, English lifeguards, and on the other side, Ideal is in between. These are some Ideal figures that I painted a long time ago, probably about 85.
Such great
Yeah.
big figures.
This is a Marx prototype of the cadets that I was able to pick up. And then these figures up here are from Paris, France, and they're like quadruple painted. Very exquisite. They're not toy soldiers. They're figurines.
Figurines. Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to take you over here and show you a couple of play sets.
Well, you got to show the battleground one in the corner because I promised John you would show him that one with
Battleground terrain pieces.
the terrain pieces with the
Yes.
battleground.
I'll show that. This is a giant blue and gray.
That's a Jim Klaus battle board.
Yes, it is.
Yep, you can
Yeah.
tell right away.
Especially made for the blue and gray. This is a diorama that was made by Pat Gallagher again, the assassination of Heinrich.
Yep.
In fact, I just sold that. And here's another battle board that he made for the Vikings and the Knights. And then over here is 1956 Robin Hood Castle set.
Wow.
Wow, that's a cool battle board.
That was made by Jim. I don't know. Are you seeing this? Are these good pictures?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a low wall castle, right?
All right. Then this was a battle board he made for me with Moon.
Oh, nice.
He painted all that, man. That's not. Jeez.
And then walking around here, we have
Custer's last
Battle of the
name.
Little Bighorn,
Yeah.
complete set.
I bet Rick Eber set that one up, didn't he?
Another battle board. Yes, he did. How'd you know?
That's his favorite, man.
And then this is a Ben-Hur. Again, a battle board.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I have another piece of this that goes on the other side, so you have a full Coliseum.
Nice.
Wow.
And then coming over here, of course, we have the Rifleman.
Now that was the tin cabin, the tin litho cabin
Yep.
with the porch on it was the one that came with the.
Yes.
Right.
There.
And what's the other one? Was that just a Bar M Ranch?
Yeah, I added that just
okay. And then you got the street front. You got the street front there too, though.
Then in the background, you got King and Country of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday using a Mark's Western Town jail.
Nice.
Let me see what else. Oh, let me go over here. Give you an idea. This was a partial layout of the Untouchables. I really have sold a lot of the figures and a lot of the cars, and I threw a firehouse in there.
Yeah.
I also had a skyscraper, but that went, and
You
all the warehouses went. Over here is a
Last of the Mohicans.
Marzo Last of the Mohican set, and that's the actual. I don't know if you can see that. That's the actual plan of Fort Ticonderoga that they used in the movie to make the fort. And I've got movie pictures. Here are some of my Frederick Remingtons that are up there. This is a diorama that I made, Brother Against Brother. This is 1994. And then, of course, down below it, I've got the
That's Mark's.
the American Heroes.
60 millimeter.
Yep.
Right. Over here, I've got a
Dinosaur set.
1 million BC.
Yeah.
Dick Mayhew trees.
And over in here, we have an Arctic Explorer set. Again, a Jim Klaus battle board.
Yeah.
And then going into this cabinet, working my way down the other side, I've got King and Country, Edinburgh Castle. I've got the Jesus figures from Mark's.
What year were those? You so
What's that?
the Jesus figures. What year did they come out?
I think it was like 58. I'm not sure about that.
That's like 58 BC.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they also came out with a nativity box.
Yeah.
So you could have a nativity scene with it. These are the World War II generals from Marx. And up here, you've got the generals from the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. And you have the 21st century geniuses, which is Walt Disney, Oppenheimer, Edison, and Einstein.
Do you have
then
the Louis Marx presidents?
The presidents.
I had presidents set up, and that I can't keep them in the store. I've sold 2 displays of it. I've got a display of it in my house, and I'm going to set up another display on it as soon as I sell something out of one of the cabinets.
Do you have anything after
Samurais
Nixon?
that I was able to pick up when I was over in Australia.
Do you have anything after Nixon?
What's that?
Do you have anything after Nixon? Because they stopped at Nixon, right?
Yes.
Right, but then somebody else picked them up and did the presidents after that.
Yes. I can't think of the gentleman now, but
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
He
But
picked it up after
his
that.
place
So
burned down or something when the fires in California
Right.
happened.
And then these are some other figures, Conti figures of Robin Hood and various things that I picked up in my travels. And then, of course, I've got the Waddington's Battle of the Little Bighorn game, which actually has figures.
Wow.
And these are Custer Last Stand Blackhawk figures. And up here, Mars put out Pirates of the Caribbean. And they also had the zombie figures of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, neat.
And then in this particular cabinet, we've got some King and Country, Native Indians, and the Sudan War. We also have these collector editions from Paragon.
Craig, I don't want to cut you off, but we have another question from the chat room.
Okay.
Somebody wants to know who has all the original Marx molds. I know the answer to this, but I want you to answer it.
Wait a minute. Who has all the original what?
Molds, Marx molds, figure molds. Well, we know what happened to the Germans.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the gentleman's name, but actually he sold some of those molds. So there's probably about 3 or 4 people that have got molds, the original molds.
So somebody is recasting some stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Marx
there were
recast.
molds in Mexico that, as well as what Hobby Bunker had and what Horowitz had.
But the missing ones are what?
Horowitz had some. There was a gentleman from Los Angeles that came to one of the shows that was peddling some of the molds. We wanted to know if I wanted to, and along with a couple other guys, buy the molds. So,
but the German molds are lost forever, right?
All right, this is just a couple more play sets. I've got a play set shelf in which I've got this play set. This is the Fort Comanche set. You got a Mike Fink keelboat. You got a Superior mint play set. You have a Castle Fort. And you also have multiples of the Gold Rush set. Up top, I've got BMC, San Juan. I've got Mark Zorro. I've got International Jetway Airport. These are mint sets. I've got Captain Space Solar Academy. Got an Operation Moon Box, Moon Base. I've got another Ben-Hur set up here. I've got a 1957 Red War 3401 prehistoric set. Another Tom Corbett space set. Lone Ranger rodeo set. Big Top Circus. Replicants. Long Branch Saloon. Another BMC set. Davy Crockett Wilderness set. Tales of Wells Fargo train. I actually have 3 sets of. I have the train, only the train. I have the one set that has the 2 buildings with the train, and another set that has 1 building with the train. And then
He's getting there,
down
John.
here,
He's getting there. Trust me.
1966
There it is. There it is, John. There it is, John. John, there it is.
train diorama.
John, there it is.
Is that for sale?
This one is without the box. I also have one with the box.
Oh, he wants the one with the box.
I know. I just, you know what? I need the painted tiles. That's I got everything else. I just need the painted tiles. So without the box would be fine.
Down here, I've got the Canadian Mounted Police headquarters.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is great. And I've got a lot of classic toy soldier sets, a giant wagon train, large Marks Alamo, Battleground Europe, and another Battleground set. This is a diorama, again, by Pat Gallagher. This one just sold yesterday. Wow. Over here, you have the Gibbs Custer Last Stand, 1958. The story behind this is they made this as a living history toy. I don't know if you can see the book, but they gave you a book that talked all about the Indians, about what they dressed, how they ate, what weapons they used, how they build a teepee. Gibbs came out with these sets in 1958. 6 months after they came out with the sets, the manufacturing plant burnt down. So these are extremely rare sets to find them complete.
And they're flats, right?
They're flat.
Can you explain to people that are watching what a flats are?
Yeah, these are flat and very detailed. So I guess that's. I won't hit every little item, but that basically is a layout of the store for right now.
This is everything that you showed us is for sale, though, right? This is not your private collection.
Everything I have in the store is for sale. Yep.
So we're not even looking at your stuff. I mean, it is your stuff, but we're not looking at your stuff.
The stuff that I just showed you, and the set wise, that's not for sale. That's part of my personal collection. Which
we'll look at that at another date. Your storage unit, man. So hey, I want you to leave us.
My storage unit has a lot of multiple sets. So if somebody finds a set that they really like, I could probably part with it. Not like the Mark McCain rifle figure.
Well, I know Joe Baker was going to ask you for that one later, but
yeah,
he was thinking 19,000. He was going to go 19,000.
Craig, the best way to reach you would be on the email address at on the site.
The email address?
Yeah, that's on the site itself.
On your website?
Yeah.
Yes. It's Royal Remington Toy Soldiers.
Okay.
That's on Facebook, also Instagram.
Okay, so we could actually try to reach through Messenger as well, right? On Facebook.
What's that?
We can also try to reach you through Messenger on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, I know we're way past our hour mark. I appreciate you taking time. I want you to leave us with one good story. And can you tell them the story you told me earlier about the San Antonio show and how you got people to go? I think that is just like the ultimate, man. When you're like the ultimate salesman, man.
Well, I take it that everybody here knows Nick from.
No, I don't think a lot of people do.
Well, it was San Diego Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, TSSD. Yep.
Nick Verstig.
And he decided that he was going to have his first Toy Soldiers show in San Antonio, very close to where the Alamo is. So I was asked by Rick Eber if I wanted to come down there. I wasn't selling anything. I was just, my wife has always wanted to go to San Antonio, so we decided to make a vacation out of it. And I was going to the show to help various people with the show. So Nick has this show set up for Saturday and Sunday. All the vendors are in there and they're all setting everything up. And very few people are coming to the show on Saturday, and everybody's complaining. So I went up to Nick and I said, Nick, did you advertise this show? He said, yeah, I thought I did. Well, you got nobody here. I said, everybody's complaining. So I said, I'll tell you what, somebody give me a box, Davy Crockett at the Alamo, Walt Disney Davy Crockett at the Alamo box. Give me the figure of Davy Crockett. Nick, give me your brochures on this show, and I'll be back. So I walked to the Alamo, and as I walked to the Alamo, I started putting stuff on the poles, showing the way to the store or to the show. So I get to the Alamo, and there's a big, long line of people, probably 3 blocks long, maybe 4. It's a Saturday. People are there with their kids and, just waiting for the Alamo to open. So I start going down the line, showing the box, passing out the brochures, showing them the figure. I said, look, when you're done looking at the Alamo, there's a toy soldier show like 3 blocks away. The kids will love it. It's all mainly Alamo stuff. So I passed out, I don't know how many brochures I had, 500,000. I was there for like an hour and a half going down the line. So I walked back to where the show is after I passed out everything for a couple hours. And I go to walk in the show, and it's packed. I can't even get in the front entrance. People are waiting outside to pay their admission in there. So I walked in, and Nick looked at me, and he goes, what the heck did you do? I said, I just showed them what we had in the show, and it brought the people in. I did the same exact thing on Sunday, and they had another good outing.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
We saved the show.
Well, I think that's what we kind of doing with this Toy Soldier Tuesday, man. We're trying to keep the hobby alive, man. Whatever we got to do.
Absolutely.
Getting guys like you on, guys like Joe Baker and John, just trying to keep the hobby alive, man. So.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing here. We're getting the word out to as many people as we possibly can, and we're creating the interest by showing various things so that they start to get involved with the hobby.
I got one last question from you, and the only reason I'm bringing this in right now is Bill Molyneux from Bill's War Games is going to be our guest next Tuesday. And he asked the question, do you ever get a set with figures that are dried out or brittle? And you told me earlier you had that one brand new set, right? That was
Yes. I one of the sets that I opened in Chicago was an Alaskan play set. And the miners were brittle. All the miners, and I just opened it. I had just opened the set, went into the bag, poured the bag out, and it was just parts of various miners and stuff.
Wow.
There's a couple of sets that Mark's made, and I believe it was because of the plastic content that they used in making the figures. But some of the Knights Viking figures, the Vikings can be very brittle.
Boonesboro Pioneers too.
Yes. Yes, and in a couple of Civil War sets, I noticed that the flags on the Confederates and the marching Union figures, the rifles, have also break off quite easily.
Mark here said he bought a battleground set from you in the past, and he looks forward to coming to your store next month. But you also said you might be in Gettysburg next month, right?
Yes, I'm thinking about going to the Gettysburg show. When I was talking to Matt at Hobby Bunker, he said, you really should go to the show and be there. So last Gettysburg show I went to was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe.
Well, I will be there in about 3 weeks, so hopefully I'll run into you, man.
Absolutely.
Once again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's been an honor and a privilege, man, and I hope you can come back again sometime.
Just have to ask me. That's all. I'll be there.
Thank you, Craig.
All right.
I'll be
Happy hunting to everybody.
Thanks for everybody in the chat room for sticking around, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Again, we have Bill from Bill War Games. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. And as always, keep on collecting.
See you, everyone.